The clips are here. The clips are here.
If you missed 28 days of love marriage clips,
Don't worry, don't worry.
don't worry. We've been working hard. It took us some time, but we've got
Tune in.
all the clips.
Tune in today, 11 a.m.
11 a.m. with Kim
Launch
and
Kim and
Dr.
Dr.
Newt. But you're not just with Kim and Dr. Newt, because we have clips from all of our special guests. And please believe me, it is going to be worthwhile. Yes, from the 28 Days of Love.
Get a flashback, get a replay. Don't miss this one.
Don't miss it. See you at 11 on 28. Oh, no, that's right, babe. That's over. Now it's Launch 360 Ministries with Kim
And Dr. Newt.
Launch with Kim and
And
Dr.
Dr.
Newt. Am I still in your little note?
Something like that.
Hi, guys. We've not been on for a
Yeah.
while, especially for launch. We did 28 Days of Love, as all of you know, and it was beautiful.
Right.
A lot of learning tools, a lot of good messages, a lot of encouragement, a lot of good stuff for married people,
Yep.
and just a lot good stuff.
A lot of stuff. So what we thought we'd do today is a real a recap of season 2 of 28 Days of Love. We pulled some clips and,
As promised.
tried to put some things together, just with some high points, and it was tough to do because it's a lot of stuff in there. You know, as you start going back through them and looking at them,
Start like, man, they were real good.
Now I know why people that do that get paid so much.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because
It's a lot of editing.
yes, you know, but even not just the editing, like the content. Like, how do you choose what to say? Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's hours
Yeah.
of content, you know.
Yeah. We probably could pull some from last year too.
Right.
Because it's so good.
Yeah, and it's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah.
I started seeing stuff. But anyway, thank you for tuning in to Launch. You know, we always value your time. Your time is one of your greatest assets. So
Can't
use
get
it
it back.
wisely. Yep, can't get it back. Once it's spent, can't repurpose it. None of those things. So thank you. We love you. Those of you who've been logging on with us at 5 a.m. for our airstrikes. We publish those on our Launch of Kim and Dr. Newt Facebook page and our YouTube live channel, which is Launch TV, Launch 360 TV.
While you're sleeping, somebody is praying for you.
Right. So you get up too
and pray for somebody
lock
else
arms with us so we can pray. And the idea for airstrike is really we just pray for the spiritual realms in our geographic areas, because he who controls the airway controls the land. So nothing can leave earth heaven until it leaves earth. So we have authority to speak to that spirit realm. So that's what we do. So we invite you to be a part of that with us.
And if you can't get up at 5 a.m., we understand. Go back for the replay and pray along then, because we're still just decreeing and declaring and believing what God is going to do so that we command our mornings.
Right. And send us your voice. I mean, you know, if God's speaking to you, hey, have you considered adding this in the prayer? Have you thought about this or pray about that? Send us those things. You know, you can inbox us, or you can put it in the chat. And you know, let's do it. It's all about kingdom work.
All right. Let's get started.
All right. So we have not done a test run. So if I jack the video up,
make sure.
we'll fix it up as we go. If I mess the video up, but we're just going to start out. I think the first person that we had,
our besties, some of our besties,
Demetrius
and Candace Henderson. That's how we said it. Henderson,
the brand of the century.
The brand of the century on floors.
We're just going to try to throw in this video. We started out. I think we asked them. The question was, you know, what are some of your strategies, go-to strategies.
When things are difficult.
When things get difficult.
So check out what they said, guys.
Might arise because you're following your mission and just doing what's natural for you.
Preferring one over the other.
So is that easy, hard? I mean, is it easier now over the years you've been married, or?
I think that it comes and goes in waves. There's times where it's easier than others, and there's times where it's really challenging. Like, it takes a lot of intentional connecting to know where your partner is in that, roller coaster ride that you're on, and trying to come out of where you are, because they might be seeing the same thing or feeling the same thing, and just try to see it from their side for a moment. Sometimes it's a moment. Sometimes it's more.
Right.
But in the big picture, that's it. Keeping an eye on the big picture. And the big picture is that we get through this life together. And that these are going to come and these are going to go. But what are we okay? Like that check. Are we okay? Are you okay? I'm not okay. Being honest with yourself. I'm not okay. And being able to say that to, your spouse, like, I just am not okay right now.
Not okay when you're not okay, and being okay with that, being okay with not being okay, and being okay with telling your mate and knowing that he's gonna make sure he can do whatever, or she can do whatever to make sure that it's all right. We can get through this thing together.
What's that you got on? This smells good.
It smells
something
good.
Different.
It is.
Yeah.
Take a little
That
whiff.
is different.
That
Right?
is.
You're gonna share it online so
Actually,
everybody knows.
no, I am going to share it. I got it from Felicia Dennis down at the market. It is cherry blossom, and it's an oil.
Really?
So stop down by that market.
Oh,
You like
wow.
that,
That
don't
is
you?
good.
You can go and buy me a big one. Well, anyway, guys, let's move on.
But I like how Demetrius started out
Oh, that
saying,
part.
listen, it starts with preferring one over another. So that's the foundation for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can get this one right, you guys, for the next one. So our next video person, we have the Strawbridges.
We have the Strawbridges, and you guys know they are like fireballs, two little fireballs, just popping off, and giving so much to the people of God for the kingdom of God. So check out what they
and we posted them the same question. It was the same exact question. So we're not going to tell you what they said, but here goes. I think so. What are your go-to strategies when that conflict arises, in your marriage, around anything? How do you deal with it?
Well, I think the first thing to think about is these two words: react and respond. There's a difference between reacting.
We're going to post it in the chat.
Post it in the chat. Post it in
Oh, my phone. I need my phone.
React. You will react in emotion, and that can end ugly and cause things to blow up, become worse, and it's could be a not good situation. Versus responding, you're taking a moment, you're thinking before you're speaking, you're maybe stepping away for a moment, maybe you're not even saying a word, but you come back the next day and say, hey, last evening when we had this conversation, such and such and such and such. The other thing that we have learned, another little phrase that we have learned from someone we respect is, I love you, right? And with I love you, right? The other person knows something's coming, so let me just prepare myself, because there's going to be some type of correction here, or something like that. So that's probably
I think that was our pastor that does that right. Like, I love you, but we know that means you're in trouble.
Wow. I love you, right? I'm about to bring one too. That was so good. Yes, and he used those two words, react and respond. Right. That you're going to. So you got to make sure you have your.
You react is afterwards. Reaction is you're not in control.
Yep.
So it's emotional. You go to that fight or flight brain. That primitive brain. You're not really thinking. It's emotional. It's selfish, or whatever it is. Those things that are human nature.
Human nature. So listen to that, guys. It's human nature. It's stuff that we do. But guess what? Once you think about it, then you realize, I love you, right?
Right.
I might not respond the way you want me or react the way you want me, but I do love you. And this is why I'm feeling while I'm feeling,
Right.
Yeah. So,
but I love the fact that we can know that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Listen, let me pause and not react.
Yeah, that's a work in progress.
Let me respond instead. And some of the other guests kind of alluded to the same fact.
So that was week 1.
Yeah.
Check out what was going on in week 2. We had my cousins, Ante and Dre, and I mean, they gave us some powerful.
Know where your partner is.
Look, I done messed up.
In
I
that,
messed up the video, yo.
When that conflict
we're gonna let Dr. Newt
cause things to blow up, become worse. You're right. The other person knows something's coming, so let me just prepare myself because there's going to be some type of correction here or something like that. So that's probably
I need to buy a mouse
that does that right. Like I love you, but we know that means you're in trouble.
Here's where
here we go.
Oh, my phone! I need my phone.
React.
Wait a minute. Why
You will react to emotion
on 2 times,
and that can end ugly and cause things.
All right, here
it's a patient thing. Life is
such and such and such and such. The other thing that
here we go.
They learning
technology,
and it's like the same thing with my marriage. I have to be patient.
Wow.
Sometimes it can get things could get rocky or out of line or out of sync or whatever. You have to be patient.
Yes.
It's a patient thing. Life is about patience.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yep.
It's about patience.
Yes, it is.
And I could be a little difficult,
I have to admit, I'm with you.
You just say, I think. And then it would get worse.
We keep coming at each other.
The argument would elevate, then we saying stuff that we don't mean,
exactly.
Bringing the past up, and this and that. So I was like, you know what? If it gets almost to that point, just go and take a breather, drive around the corner, walk around the corner, take the dog out, something.
Wow.
And let's talk about what just happened. So we don't have to go to bed like this.
Right, that part.
Because, it's not worth it. It's
together. What are?
Well, I apologize for the clips.
It's okay.
All jacked up.
I was fine with the clips. I'm not worried about those clips. What I'm saying is everything that they said, everything that they said, and I did put it in the chat where he was talking about being patient.
Yep.
And she was saying, listen, when you get like that, just go take a walk, because if not, we'll say things we don't mean.
Right. Can't always get that back.
Can't get it back. And we don't have to go to bed mad.
Don't go to bed. But what I liked about what she said as well is, I could be difficult. And I think I just said that to my wife this week. I know I'm hard to live with.
And I agreed with him.
I was hard to live with. I was the baby boy. Literally, that was the only boy, baby boy. My sisters are 6 years older and 8 years older. I mean, I was trained to be spoiled, and so you revert to those things sometimes.
Yeah, when you feel uncomfortable.
You need to understand that about yourself.
So what we can say is go take a walk, feeling how you're feeling. And when you come back, let's talk about it, and let's not take this stuff to bed.
Take it to bed.
Definitely don't want to take it there.
That's something you've always said.
Yeah, I was like, and I wouldn't let him go to sleep. We stay up all night. I'm like, no, we're gonna talk about this, because we ain't going to sleep with this.
All right, let's see if we get the next one right.
Well, we've got some of our other besties on the other side over there towards Virginia. And it is our Shalinda and O'Kersey Millers, our namesakes. Check out what they had to say. Some of those differences, Chubb, from you to Shalinda.
I think that, I think in a marriage and a relationship, there are lanes, right? There are lanes. We both must stay in our lane. For example, good example is when I cut the grass, right? My lane is the grass. So when Shalinda comes out there, every blue moon, when she does come out there and says, hey, Chubb, how can I help? Her lane will always be the assistant. She understands that when she shows up to help in that arena, she knows not to take over. She knows not to do too much. But on the flip side, when it's time to come in the house and become an IT, like hooking up computers and printers and downloading this, that. It's all Shalenda. So I know when we walk back in this house and it's time to hook up computers and start building furniture, my lane is just to sit there and become the assistant.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro.
Oh my goodness. That reminds me of how Newt and I, when I packed the car, and because I know how to pack it so there is no room. Everything is there and everything fits. And Newt will just come and start putting stuff, and I'm like, no, let me do this. So it used to frustrate him in the beginning of our marriage. And then finally he caught on. Just let me bring the materials to her and let her put it or tell me where to put it. So he's become a very good
mechanical. Pick it up, put it down.
Helper outer.
Pick it up, put it down.
Oh
save a whole lot of stress because then then I got my butt on my shoulders.
Okay.
Because now I got to take it all out because she's not gonna let me just leave it there. And really, what happened? What really made me mad is she was right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She was right, and I saw she's better at that than me. So that's okay. That's okay.
That was my lane. And Newt has some lanes too when it comes to taking care of the car, cleaning it up, and organizing the wires and the things in the house and the yard. The way
she gave me all the hard stuff.
That's because you're a hard brother.
See that? See how she tried to do that?
Hard brother.
All right, let's go to the next one. I think the next one we have up.
Our son and daughter in love.
Yes.
And my goodness.
Yes, they dropped some pearls on us. But I like the one when she talks about this is what I do.
This is what I do.
So let's see if we
check it out, y'all.
See if we can get that up and running for you. Anything from you, Drina? What do you do to help Newt grow?
I pray.
Wow.
I'm not a really big, and this is something that has been a learning experience for me. I'm not really a big talker.
Okay.
Or sometimes I have to go and talk to God first and figure it out and then come back to the table. And sometimes that's frustrating for him because he's at the table right now, or, we're talking about now. And he's like, you don't want to talk about it. And it's like, I do want to talk about it, but I know sometimes, when emotions are running high and the feelings are all over the place.
Right.
So for me, that's not always the best time for me to talk because I may say something that I might not even mean in 3 minutes to an hour. Like for him, I pray.
Wow.
Because
she's just telling y'all she's smarter than me. That's all. That's all that was.
No.
That's all that is, Ray. That's all that is.
That is right.
No, I just want to make sure that I know we're all gonna make mistakes, but I just want to make sure I get it right.
Right.
So I'm just I'm not quick to speak. I listen and I observe and I go talk to God about it. And I know more than anything, God gotta, I pray to God so he can help me help him.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Do you hear that?
That's what I do.
That's what I do. Help me help him.
Yeah.
And not that she wants to be right, but she knows if she hears from God, it is going to be right for them. It's what they need. I love her.
I do. That's how she is.
That's
really.
how she is.
You can see her, the wheels turning, when you're talking to her and she's smiling.
She's smiling, but she's not saying nothing. She's listening and taking it in. So she described herself completely.
Very well.
Beautiful.
Very well.
And Newt realized that she's just a little smarter than him. All right.
That's all that is, right?
Well, now we have one of my little sweethearts. I love her. She's a twin. She's one of our authentic, gifted marriage family members' daughters. I'm calling them a family member because we embrace the Browns. Yes. And her name is Veronica. And when I tell you, this sister right here dropped all kinds of sparkle. I'm not going to say pearls because she's a glitter girl. Everything is sparkly. And I would say she dropped some sparkles all around the room.
Right. So she talks mostly today about preparing for a good fit.
So names and labels are important. So I would rather say
I'm not single, I'm preparing. Because preparing is that I'm getting ready. I'm in expectation that it's going to happen. Amen.
Wow. I love it.
Also, when I think about it as well, I think about a fit. Okay, so I went to dinner on Tuesday with a friend, and they asked me, what would you like to drink? I was like, oh, I'll just take a water cup. So they gave me this cup right here. Okay. So these cups don't come with lids.
Right.
But I don't want anything floating, in my cup, So I just said, okay, I'm gonna put this lid right on this cup.
Okay.
I put the lid on the cup. It doesn't fit. There's no fit, right? So I'm talking with my friend and everything like that, and my arm almost knocked down the cup. So we know that because this lid doesn't fit, had that knocked it down, all of this would have been poured out, right?
Wow.
But when there's a fit, like this cup, it's a fit. And even though I could have knocked it down, only a little bit would have been poured out. So I'm looking for a fit.
Come on.
Got you.
Now, I fit him and he fits me.
Okay.
Then I fit him.
And he fits me.
How about that?
And we fit together.
Got the fit. Got the fit.
Got the fit.
Got the fit.
Got the fit. I love that she used that example with those lids.
Right.
Because sometimes it's not that the lid couldn't cover, it just doesn't fit. Yes, she is a teacher.
Yes.
Veronica, so good.
Love you.
Thank
love
you.
you. Shane and Nicole.
Oh man, we love Shane and Nicole.
Yeah.
We love the Moors. The Moors are powerful, and they are really about being transparent.
Right. Being transparent.
Putting
it on the table.
Putting it all on the table.
And how? So what do you do on purpose to help build and grow Shane?
Yeah, to sharpen him.
That is, you know what? I keep it real with Shane. We are a very transparent couple, and we like accountability. I know I like accountability, and so we hold each other to a certain standard. And one thing that I do, which I have to work on with him, is, I've grown to be very a matter of fact. So if I don't agree and I feel like I'm right about a situation, I'm going to tell him what a TI is. And then he's always saying, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So I'm learning to say it in a manner where he can receive it well. But I think it's very important that we keep it real with each other, because I think that's a big part of growth. If there's an area where I'm thinking, his perspective might be a little off in this area, maybe you should look at it this way. And then he's quiet. And when I know he's quiet, I know he's kind of in agreement with me, because he's not, going anymore. So he's quiet, he's listening. Yeah. And I know that his perspective is kind of shifting on a topic or something. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of growth.
Wow. My goodness.
A big part of growth. A lot of wisdom in there.
And the fact that they both love it. I think I love most, not just that Nicole shares with him, but that Shane gets quiet and he balances it out.
Yes.
And he thinks about it.
Yes.
Because somebody else could say, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to talk about it. But the fact that he gets quiet and listens, thinks about it, figures it out, and realizes, okay, yeah, I get that. That to me is maturity.
Yeah, that's a man. That's a man. I love it.
You guys, we love you. We got this next group. These are our children. We've got more kids. Our son. I'm saying my son.
Yeah, we featured our sons this time.
Yeah, it was our son.
Next year we'll feature
our daughter. So it's our son and our daughter in love. You call him Doobie. He's Anthony Dorm and his beautiful wife Jade. And they gave us a couple.
It was like hard to pick. It's hard to pick.
My husband just kept cutting. He didn't know what to do. But check it out.
Yeah. Because there's so many times where I'm thinking one thing and she's thinking a completely another thing from what being said. And I'm like, well, where do you get that from?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But now I can kind of gauge it a little more with other people. Like, okay, so I gotta understand their perspective now. Now I have this other mind of mine that like she holds a place right here where it's resonating. You know what I mean? In my head when I'm dealing with other people, like, I don't know, Jay probably thinking the same way. Like, so I gotta let me not go off, and let me not feel a way about this, because you know what I mean, she would look at it this way too.
I
So,
love that.
Right. I like how he said this other mind
Yes,
of mine.
that's good.
That's another note, gentlemen. Write that down. This other mind of mine.
it just makes you kind of realize, like, I guess this person sees me every day. They kind of understand what's going on in my mind and what I'm doing.
Yes.
So we sit down and have conversations about stuff for sure.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
we do a lot of deep dives. I feel like for sure we get deep. I feel like we address stuff head on. Like it's uncomfortable at times, like he said, but it's necessary. So
love it.
Yeah, and I had to learn to be quiet and just listen for a second, because when I hear things, sometimes my reaction is to respond right away.
Right.
Instead of listening to actually hear what's being said. So I had to learn how to just be like, I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet. And I would sit there like, I'm being childish a lot of times. Right. But it helped me like learn to just listen for a second and see where she's going.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that helped me a lot,
and
for sure.
With us, I'll say we both come from this mindset of always being right. Like, and me, like, we're both very much like, he feels like he's very smart. I feel like I'm very smart, and it's just like, no, I know what I'm talking about, and he's like, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you are.
So there are times where we have to both kind of like, bite that bullet and accept, like, you can be wrong.
Gotta concede sometimes. Gotta concede.
Love it.
Oh
love
my
it,
God.
Love it. Love it.
Oh my goodness. Bite the bullet.
Gotta concede sometimes.
Deep diving
Yes.
conversations that
Oh,
are
my goodness.
uncomfortable.
This other mind of mine.
That was your favorite
Ooh,
one.
That's heavy.
And what he literally saying is this is a real covenant. And although I may be thinking this here in this mind, I have this other mind of mine that's thinking. And so I better not say anything until I hear from my other mind.
So now look how much broader I am.
Yep. Look how much broader I am.
Because of my covenant.
Yeah. He was blown away by that. I loved it. Thank you, Doobie and Jade.
Yes. Who do we have up next?
Oh, my baby sister, even though she's not the baby, she was my baby sister, Llewellyn Coleman Hogue. You guys know my sister. She has never been lost for words. And when she shares deep. She is really going to give us a perspective for a woman waiting in love.
Yeah. And I have to admit, I didn't even catch it
he didn't.
during the broadcast. But when I was going back and looking at the clips, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's good. I played it a couple times.
Yeah, he was like, whoa, I missed that. Here we go. Check out what she's got to say.
Let's see what you think.
You wish you would have just took a little more time. What would that look like for the person who's saying, I feel like my time clock and I feel like I need to do this? What would that look like, and why is that important?
So for me, I felt like I should have took more time because I wasn't spiritually where I thought I was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know it all. I still don't, but you know what I mean? There were some things I just didn't know, And so a lot of times you're learning together, right? And it was so difficult because I have one way I want to do things. You have one way you want to do things. So for me, like, time periods could be different. It could be 3 months for somebody, and that's just enough time. It could be a year for this person. It's based on where you are, what you can handle. So for me, no, I couldn't. It was a lot, I wasn't fully ready for what happened. I didn't expect that. I had a totally different view of what marriage was, right? Because we learn it. We watch TV, we watch the movies, we read the books, we see the love stories. If anybody know me, I'm watching comedies and love stories. That's just what I do, right? So you watch that. So I had an expectation of what marriage was. So when it smacked me in the face, I realized, hold on. You don't get to that part of it until you work through some things.
Yeah, that's good. You don't get to that part of it
till you work through some things. Yeah.
And some people need a little more time. Their ready is not your ready.
Right. So I think that was the question that we asked at the time. Had to do with because she was divorced.
Yeah.
Right. So we asked that question about you know, was it time, not time? I forget the
Right.
original the question was, but that's how he set it up. Do you remember the
I
question?
think it was, how do you know you're ready for a relationship? And then what happens? Because she did go through divorce and then remarriage and now separation.
Right.
And
so she was super transparent about that. I thought that was heavy
Yeah.
and very helpful. Very helpful.
Yes.
For those of you who may be in the same spot.
Now we're moving on, and you guys, you should know we're in week 3 now. Sorry. But yes, James and Audrey Brown.
Oh man.
First of all, they came from South Carolina after they stopped in Virginia.
Right.
And they came here in the city and came to our home and did the recording. And my God, then we went and fellowshipped with them. These two right here, if you know them, you know what we mean.
Right.
And it was a blessing.
Genuine good people. It was actually a milestone it was the first time we did a live
in our house
with other folks, you know. But anyway, let's get them up and rolling. James has a message.
Oh my God.
For the men.
Come on, brothers.
For the men, look square that camera.
Come
For
on,
the men.
Come on, brother.
The biggest test in your marriage or your soon to be marriage is how to deal with the power that God has given you through his word. Don't be a bully because he calls you the head.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Don't tell your wife, because I said so, because God said I can say so.
Come on.
That's not it. That's not what God intended.
Come on.
That is not what he intended. If you're carrying it like that, that's called a miscarriage.
Come on.
That's what that is. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Like that.
So you really gotta figure out how to deal with that power that God has given you.
My God.
Yeah. I actually literally cut them short because it was hard to find a break.
Yeah, because it's too good. We might have to
we're gonna revisit.
Replay
We're gonna revisit that broadcast
and just replay some.
Because a lot of heavy wisdom.
Oh my God! Oh my God! And their testimony.
Don't be a bully, man.
Don't bully just because you got a position.
Yeah, don't be a bully.
And then he said that was for the men. I love that because we were dealing with marriage. But now I want to say that for anyone in position, don't be a bully because you're in charge.
Yeah, that's a leadership principle.
Yes, it is.
Actually, positional leadership is the lowest level of leadership. It's the lowest.
Yeah.
You know, if you got to lead because you have a position, then that means you don't have skills as a leadership. You haven't developed what you need to develop.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation for another time.
These two right here. You guys know I got kind of emotional when these two came on because watched them grow up and I know them well. And Isha and Tom White, these two, they blew our mind that night.
Yeah. Now I love everyone else that we
loved y'all,
but this one was my favorite.
Yeah, it was. It hit us so hard. And when we got off the broadcast, me and Newt was
we
in
all
here
teared up.
We was broke to capacity just to hear it, and we saw, and so it's good. Look, he's about to get emotional now. Here we go, guys. Isha and Tom White.
Our goal as kids that we both grew up from broken homes, we didn't have our dads in our home. You know, so our goal was never, if we had kids, that it would never be a broken home. There would be no one else raising our kids.
Right.
We would raise our kids together. So that's what started at first, our goal. And then we got pregnant early. So almost made it official that we said this beforehand. And now we actually are having a son. And as our, when our son came into our life, it just changed a whole lot. I became a mom, it was everything that's going to be better for him,
Wow.
So that was my goal, whatever was going to be beneficial for my baby at that, that's what I went with.
Because when I said that back then, all the things she said, well, we can't be married if you're not holding down a job, if you're stop messing around. So once we got married, I kind of took what those words says to love and cherish, to honor and obey, through sickness and health. I really, built with that concept and say this is what we're going to do, no matter how ugly it looks. At the end of the day, you can turn around, look over your shoulder, and I'm right here with you.
Right. Ooh, that's a boo.
That's the same thing. How what I love about her, because she whipped me into shape. Like, you know, she didn't let me be less than a man. Like if I was, she told me. Like, you know, like if my mom was here to this day, like I didn't, at times I didn't know if I was her son or Isha was her daughter. Wow. You know, because my mom did not, no matter what I did, she did not allow me to put the blame on her. You got to take ownership. You know what I'm saying? And she just absolutely loved Isha because she saw what Isha was doing for her son. Like, because I didn't open up to too many people.
Yeah.
I didn't open up to too many people at all, but I opened up to her and I just gave her everything. You know, like I said, you know, God knew what he was doing. That's it. God definitely knew what he was doing. I would need her in my life for everything that transpired as the years went by.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's heavy.
That thing still jacks me up. I'm telling you, Isha, Tom,
I love it. I love it. They said they'll raise their children together. No one else.
No matter how it looks.
No
matter how it looks, they were going to be together.
Yes.
And oh my God, they blew our mind. They blew my mind now. We definitely will be replaying that.
I do have to pull out though. He talked about when he said those words, for better for worse.
Yeah, that part.
He at that moment, what happened was covenant became first.
Yeah.
You know, so he knew he had things to work on, you know, but covenant meant everything. And here they are. They've been married just as long as us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
They
know?
got married a couple months or
so
no, it was a day or so later.
So they 23 years into, you know.
Just like us,
so,
one day after us.
You know, she wouldn't let him be less than a man. I mean, there's some bombs in there.
And then how his mother was such a support. Miss Anna, may she rest in peace. But she was one who definitely pushed that her son. Listen, you can't bring that home to mama. Okay. You're gonna have to grow up and be a man, and that's your covenant.
And that's important. If I know I'm veering off, we got two more to do, but that's important for those of you who are looking to get married. Understanding the position that your parents are in your marriage. Now they can be a destructive force if you lean too much on them and not on your covenant, but they can also be a very positive, motivating, and supportive force. If their mindset is you need to build your thing
over there.
Yeah. And don't come to me thinking I'm going brush under the rug your mess
over there with her.
Yes,
your choice.
So I mean, just a lovely thing. All right, I don't want to veer off, but
because this is a good one.
He pulled, yes.
And his heart was so pure and transparent. Like both of them were, but it just you could see it because we know him. He's usually a quiet guy.
Yeah.
But it was good.
That's
so
good.
we love you, Tom and Isha, and we thank you for coming on and just blessing us, guys. We are moving on to the couple, Mike and Alicia. These two with their beautiful babies are working hard to build things together, and they have so much coming in the future. That
you gotta know, like if you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody at our age, it has to be because there's an end game. And it's not just date to have fun. It's not date to just kill time with somebody. You have to, just like Dr. Newt said, time is of the essence. And that's one thing that we don't get back. It is our most valuable asset. So where we plant our time is where we're going to see our return. So when in this relationship, we made that decision. We were intentional. He proposed within that first year, and we were married 90 days after the proposal. So Michael and I do this thing now. This is now that we're a little bit further into our marriage. I mean, we've only been married for almost 6 years, but we've implemented this thing where we ask each other, are you looking for me to listen to you, or are you looking for a solution from me?
Okay.
Because that will determine whether I am going to start, giving him all the solutions to everything he's saying. I have all the advice for him. You want Baba? Or it's going to give me a chance just to listen and not say anything at all. Sometimes he doesn't want my feedback.
Love that.
So within that, though, there's those arguments where like it's taking everything inside of me not to say something back or not to I just don't agree with his stance. I don't agree with his opinion or whatever the case is. And I think it's just about humility, honestly. It is. It's like setting pride aside. You don't need to always be heard, and you don't need to always be right.
We both we're very strong. We both have very strong personalities.
Yeah. Very dominant.
And so, you know, a lot of times I try not to be so strong, you know, before coming, you know, kind of focusing my life back to, you know, to Christ. I always was very self-righteous and I'm still very matter of fact, but
yeah,
but I don't need to press the issue of an argument.
Right.
And so I try not to be too strong of a personality.
Right.
I mean,
Wow.
Look, I'm giving it up. I'm giving up the finale.
Oh
Can't
my
do
God,
that.
that's okay. Because listen, they got so much to say.
Yes.
But thank you, Mike and Alicia. We really love that.
Intentional.
She was saying, you know, at this age, I don't have time to date and
Yeah,
play.
time to play.
It's either you want to or you don't. You're going to have to make a decision about me, pretty much, and what you want to do with your life. And he too,
because I'm valuable.
Exactly.
You know?
And then him understanding the importance of himself and making sure that he took his time to choose wisely.
Yes.
Like it went both ways, but it
did.
fit jointly
Right.
together.
How about prefacing the conversation?
Prefacing the conversation. Oh my God. Just
That's
it
a
was
good
so
tip,
much,
you know,
curbing your personality.
You want to answer?
Uh-huh.
Hold on. You want to answer or you just want me to listen?
Right.
You know, that's powerful.
Yes, it is.
Because sometimes I do just need you to listen. You
Yep.
know? Or she just needs me to listen, you know, and instead of me trying to figure that out.
And fix it for the other when the other one might not want to be fixed.
Right. Sorry, I'm coughing.
Well, this is our grand finale, and you guys know I call them vintage love. This is what you want to watch and who you want to be around if you are looking to learn how to relate and how to grow your marriage and to last the test of time.
Yes.
They gave us so many stories. Like the fairground one is my favorite one, but I don't think we get to cover that today, but we're going to revisit this. Here we go, guys. The Browns, Kathy and George.
if we have those moments when we have to take something real unique and special to say to one another, after 20 minutes of me saying what I said to you, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. We can get in the car and ride from here to Georgia.
I know that's right.
But this is my girl right here.
Oh,
you know? So I make room for her because when she says something to me, she want to make sure that I heard it.
That you heard it.
So
right.
And that's one of those differences.
Right.
You tell me one time I'm good, but she will say, she wants to make sure, so she'll make sure she come back knocking and knocking and knock, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. So let's say because of where we're at in our relationship, it's not a threat. I don't have to say, well, I'm this and that. No, who I am who you are.
Wow. Wow.
And vice versa. She is who I am.
Wow.
So there are moments when I lead, and there are moments when she says, hey, he's tired, I'm leading.
Yeah.
So when she leads, it doesn't mean she steps in front or steps forward. She steps right where she's always been, by the side.
Come on.
So she won't let anybody else get to me until I get my rest.
Come on.
And so when I assume my leadership, it's a smooth transition. It's not a struggle for dominance. It's a smooth transition. See, we don't have that kind of a thing. Not saying that we're perfect. That's why I say every day. Every day we're meeting each other. We're finding out who we are.
Wow.
See, that type of thing.
When you get married at first, things are different. But as you're staying married,
yes,
I would say maybe in this 5 or 7 years, it changes.
Yes.
And if you're willing to change with that marriage, it can grow.
Yes.
And then it'll change again as your marriage gets older.
Yes.
It doesn't stay the same. You don't stay the same.
Come on,
the person
absolutely
doesn't stay the same.
Wow.
My God.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry, I had to start.
Wow. So we pulled out some clips from each of the episodes.
Those are just teeny 30 seconds of stuff. We were on with them for an hour, almost 40. Well, I mean, we were on with people about 40 minutes or so.
We could have put a lot of things. So we just want to share that with you guys as we came back on and kind of reignited Launch after 28 days.
And we had promised to come right on, but it was just so much to do. We needed to take that time.
So we, you know, we're awesome. I mean, we were feeling blessed to be able to look back even after the break, you know, a week or two, and then coming and listen to it. It just was uplifting to me. So we're hoping that this was uplifting to you.
Newt's been clipping for a while, but we just thank you guys for coming on with us, and we will be back next Saturday. We hope to see you here. I want you to remember to always pray for your brothers, your sisters, encourage yourself as well. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself first so you can pray for them, or you need to pray for them so that you can encourage yourself. Whatever it is, encourage yourself, pray for someone else. They're having a difficult time, or you may not know it. You know, so remember your brother. You're definitely their keeper.
And keep love alive.
Keep it alive.
Keep love alive.
Keep it alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes everything easier.
It does.
Makes everything easier.
So
listen, you are good ground.
You're good ground.
You are good ground.
You are.
So tell yourself, I am good ground.
Good ground. Even when you don't feel good ground.
You are good ground. So seeds are falling in the soil of your life and something's growing. Something's happening under the soil. So you got to be careful what seeds they are. So guard your ears, guard your ear gates, your eye gates, the issues of your heart. You know, the word says that. Guard your heart, from out of it come the issues of life. So you are good ground. Things are growing. Listen, have an expectation for yourself.
Wow.
Have an expectation for yourself. So we go ahead and pray for you right now. God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for every individual who's tuned in with us, who is logged in to Launch 360. God, we pray a special blessing over their life, even now, that you'll release the rain. Release the rain of blessings in their life. And God, water the soil. Water that good ground that they are, so that they'll begin to produce a harvest, God. A harvest of 30, 60, 100-fold, a harvest, God, that's above and beyond more than they can ask or think, God. In Jesus' name, we thank you. We thank you. Hey, everyone, we love you.
Oh, yes, wait. And I want to also say happy birthday, Pastor Ramona. We had a great time last night, but happy birthday.
All right.
We love you guys.
And we'll see you, God willing, next Saturday at 11 a.m. or around that time, depending on what technology does. For Launch
with Kim
and Dr. Newt. The clips are here. The clips are here.
If you missed 28 days of love marriage clips,
don't worry.
Don't worry. We've been working hard. It took us some time, but we've got all the clips.
Tune in today, 11 a.m.
11 a.m. with Kim and Dr. Newt. But you're not just with Kim and Dr. Newt, because we have clips from all of our special guests. And please believe me, it is going to be worthwhile. Yes, from the 28 days of love.
Get a flashback, get a replay. Don't miss this one.
Don't miss it. See you at 11 on 28. Oh, no, that's right, babe. That's over. Now it's Launch 360 Ministries with Kim
and Dr. Newt.
This is Dr. Newt with a minute of medicine for your mind. You ever know that you're supposed to do something? I mean, it's the right thing to do. It's a good thing. It's helpful. It's productive for many people, not just for you. But you keep getting slammed by opposition. I mean, folks are talking bad about you, trying to plot against you to get people to turn their backs on you, to try to hurt you and block your vision. Man, you start to feel frustrated. It's exhausting. You start to feel defeated, and guess what? You get angry, and the next thing you want to do is take things in your own hands and strike back, right? Well, hold up. That's exactly what the enemy wants you to do. That's what gives him the fuel that's needed to discredit you. You see, when it looks like the enemy has you surrounded, God actually has the enemy surrounded. You see, what I'm trying to say to you today is real simple, see? There's always an assignment against your assignment. But don't fret, because God is for you and has more than the whole world against you. It's Dr. Newt with a minute of medicine for your mind.